The Mayans called it the womb of creation, the navel, or the birth canal that suggests a knowledge of the black hole. They seem to have a firm and strong grasp on cosmology, math, and science that it comes as no surprise that their study of the stars for thousands of years may have brought them the knowledge they sought. But it still contradicts archaeology, as a culture in that point in history should not be capable of such feats. Because they have and hint to the idea of a greater knowledge than previously expected, and that's bewildering, and lends credence to the fact that maybe they know something that we don't. Or rather, that they knew something that we don't. The Mayans believed that it was the end of an age and the beginning of a new one. The time of no time is how they referenced it. A mysterious name indeed. And the fact that they had recorded the previous 4 periods of 5,125 years before this one, but not our current period in their cosmic time records, is also intriguing. What is it that we don't understand and can't decipher? Scholars and psychos alike all over the world point to the signs all over humanity and its many phases of culture, from carvings on ancient, medieval, and modern religious centers to up-to-the-minute science news of the Western world. I want to take us on a journey through what some of the other parts of the Americas say of this period and see if we can connect the dots to verify some kind of correlation. But unfortunately, today is where we're going to have to leave off on our quest with 2012. This is turning into quite an amazing journey we're going on, because it's going to span several episodes. And what we're going to get into are prophecies of other indigenous cultures here in the Americas, from east to west. So stick around and stay tuned to the Unified Field, where we'll be continuing our discussion on 2012, Doomsday or Dumsday. Stay tuned. We still have the paranormal news, the sci-tech news, and the audio zone coming up with the wrap-up of that Andrew Basiago interview from last episode. I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, right here on 88.1 FM CKDU.
You are listening to the Unified Field.
Resistance Radio is an original program produced in 3 languages, covering popular movements and resistance struggles at home, on Turtle Island, in Latin America, and beyond. Each week features a community or group struggling for justice, dignity, or self-determination against colonialism, capitalism, and globalization. Music on the show is from Canada and the world by radical and political songwriters and artists, celebrating resistance, direct action, and promoting consciousness and reflection on social realities and struggles. News, analysis, and culture. Resistance Radio, 5:30 to 6 p.m. every Tuesday on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax.
Winter taking days, nights filled with longer hours. Hey!
Cobra Coffee is gearing up for winter with great new menu selections. Try their homemade vegetarian soups and grilled paninis, along with the coffee, teas, and treats you know and love. Cobra Coffee, 6085 Cobra Road, 3 minutes from the Dalhousie Student Union Building. Cobra Coffee is a proud supporter of CKDU.
Tune into Radio in America every week to count down CKDU's Top 30. Radio in America airs Mondays from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. on CKDU 88.1 FM or online at ckdu.ca.
I'm David Suzuki. Catch the bus. Just one bus means 40 fewer vehicles on the road and 9 tons of pollution out of the air. Not bad for a couple of bucks. The future is in your hands.
Get around smarter at davidsuzuki.org.
Hi, my name is John Epworth, master of the improvement. Not their master, but you know what I mean. We like CKDU. It's really fun, and when I grow up, I would like to chart on 88.1 FM in Halifax.
You are now entering the unified field.
Welcome back to the Unified Field, and I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, here on 88.1 FM, CKDU, at beautiful Dalhousie University campus in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Joining us today for a special cameo reading of the paranormal news is Jordan.
Our first story comes from inexplicata.blogspot.com from November 2nd, 2009. Argentina, resident of La Pampa stood under a flying saucer. Resident of La Pampa said that aside from strolling under the UFO, he was able to see another vehicle in the same area, along with dozens of other locals. This all took place 25 years ago, but he is breaking his silence today. I really got under the UFO and was able to see its eye. This was a phrase that a resident of the Pampian city of Toei used to retell an experience that very few humans have had. The event occurred 25 years ago, but the witness chose to remain silent until now, encouraged by the large number of similar events occurring throughout the country. In his story, the man said that aside from walking under the UFO, he was able to see another strange craft in the same area. Encouraged by a number of witnesses, the disclosure of the man's experience was made known by the Centro del Estudio UFO, also known as the CEUFO, within the framework of an experience that occurred to the north of the city of Toei, 10 kilometers southwest of Santa Rosa, the provincial seat of La Pampa. CEUFO's experts explained that the disk was some 12 meters in the air, suspended and in silence, according to the estimates made by the witnesses who used the flagpole as a reference, which stands some 6 meters tall. They also added that the experience was registered by CEUFO on October 19, 2009, and it only seeks to illustrate the considerable number and quality of cases that take place in that region. A giant saucer, as stated, the witness explained that many people saw strange things in evil lights, but they generally keep quiet because they are afraid of being dismissed as nuts. With regard to his sighting one night in May 1984, he said, "I was leaving my sister's house and I felt that something was going wrong in the backyard. I felt the sensation that something was pushing me down, or that there was a weight bearing down on me. When I reached a corner, I saw a flying saucer over the neighborhood soccer pitch, over the flagpole. The saucer took up half the street," he recalls, adding that he returned to the house and asked everyone to come out and see the flying saucer. At that time, he realized that 2 other locals were watching it. Their respective relatives came outside, and while some became frightened and ran back to their dwellings, others remained and discussed the event with their neighbors. I was there for a while and had to get home, but my path forced me to go under the flying saucer. Having overcome my fear, I plucked up my courage and started walking, while some neighbors told me to keep still because I could be taken. When I got to the edge of the disc, I glanced upward with some mistrust, and that's when I saw its eye. At its core, there was a circle that looked like the sky, but it was very bright and had a certain fog to it. I stood there watching for a little while and then decided to continue, to call my wife so she could also see it. I got home and we immediately went outside with my wife, but at that time the saucer began to vibrate and vanish towards the church, which is at the center of the town. The man explains that at the time both he and the other locals witnessed another flying saucer, some 300 meters from the site, over a water tank. This object also sped towards the church.